Most now I'm going to speak about anger. Anger, anger, hidden issues, anger issues, all kinds of issues. Well, anger can be hidden and then can be very open. And anger on the emotional scale is higher up, so it's already you're taking your power back. Anger means a lot of things. Um, it means we feel we trying other people try to control us. We feel they want to limit us. They want to disrespect us, um, and so on. And most of the anger issues are unresolved, of course. And anger also stems in childhood, um, regarding your parents, especially because they were the ones that were domesticating you in that sense, conditioning you. Um, you only knew in the beginning how to be yourself, and then around 3, 4 years old, they condition you. Then the next phase where you really battle the last time is as someone who does not want to put her head into the slave program. Is your teenager age, and but anger also has a lot of those things during Dark Night of the Soul, especially Dark Night of the Soul, on the path to self-liberation is really a lot to do with your past lives, more probably than your childhood. And this is why the majority of the people don't understand where it's coming from. They don't understand why is it here, why is in such uh, rage, and why is in such um, and it's that long period of time that you have this anger. Uh, while it could be very, it's a karmic in that sense. There are certain things that, like for example, last year it happened, that I've been really karmically triggered in a phase where all the lovers came up, and I knew that I was clearing the, kind of like all the romantic issues, the romantic things that which held um, a lot of fears, a lot of anger, a lot of self-deceit, um, and there's so many other things. And then in the 4th of February, my Kundalini started. Man, it was the yin and yang energy burning, starting to make the connection and start to really do all that. It did bring up a lot of anger issues, I've seen past lives, I've seen everything, which, why I was feeling that way. Where is it coming from? I knew that. I knew that with that person, I had a lot of those past lifetimes. I've been forced to marry him. Then some things were like um, really pulling me into it. And on the other hand, I had a lot of magnetic feelings in that. So I believe that our conscious and our unconscious is working in sync, and we don't know why these things happens, but they have to happen, and so basically all of these anger things, you can be angry. On the other hand, it's like a certain spiritual ism in that sense, all kinds of like Buddhism and all the other type of religious things say, anger is not good. That is not true. Anger is a must until you dissolve it. You really go to the bottom of it until you really rediscover where is it coming from, why is it here, what is it telling me, what is it teaching me. But of course, I'm telling you, you at the same time, also when those really huge chunks of rage comes up, really watch your self-discipline, because that what it is, so you do not act out on it. And a lot of those anger issues bring up uh, all of those things. And the funny thing is, when I went down all the way to my so-called personal hell in order to bring everything up. And when you access and enter and meet your reptilian self, in that sense, which is the astral realm, and when you are there, you're there for one reason and one reason only: to get the last piece of you, to bring the whole thing back up, which is the blueprint of the soul. Because the flight and fight or fright program, whatever that is the first ancient pain. It is so painful, it is really literally feels like burning. And that part is holding the last piece of you, the soul's monad, which is the original, the soul without distortion. That is it. That is why you go down into your personal hell. You're gonna bring it all up, but of course, you're gonna deal with a lot of anger, with a lot of distortion and manipulations and all those past. So basically, past, present, and future is merging here. You also will understand that you can only deal with these things if you are willing to do so, if you're willing to deal with the unresolved issues, the unresolved anger, because anger on the emotional scale is a higher one, higher level, but basically, generally, it's fear. So it is all love, all fear, and then bring it all together in the middle and be balanced. And this is why you have to go down there. So during the dark night of the soul, which starts when you went down to your own personal hell, so to speak, right? Because it's not a place, it's a state of mind. And when you go down there and you bringing all that up, it's like really you literally in on fire. Your whole body burns. It's crazy, and it's I'm now it's like it's the 23rd of August. While since the 4th of February when it happened, uh, wow, I say wow. It's sometimes I can still feel a little bit of it because I'm still clearing it. Um, but it's amazing, and the burning in the beginning, like for 1.5 months or 2 months, it was unbearable. It was so unbearable, and only those who are here for complete self liberation will process that, will go through it. They have to go through it, and that's it. And of course, you slowly but surely it's gonna fade away, and you go through all the emotional part because the astral realm is the emotional part. So prior to that, I've been doing a lot of mental stuff. I was writing for 5 6 years. I was so-called channeling down, bringing down all the information that I needed, and it's amazing. It's an amazing journey. But then when I really entered the dark night of the soul, that was whoa, you know. So anger is basically it's fear, but when you only angry, you're very good. You're very good because and then you start the emotional part, to really bring the light of understanding, enlightenment into darkness. So you're bringing it into your own darkness. This is when you're going through, and you're doing it to yourself. I mean, in the past, basically, all that happened was when this happened, the moment you came out of unity consciousness, and it means being in united within myself. And because we are united in a way, when we are going out of this realm, we are united. We know how that is. Uh, and we can be united here with everybody else and within ourselves. And the only time we can be united with others is when we are united with ourselves. And so basically, this is what happens. You have to go through it. You have to deal with the anger, which is fear, hidden. It's really an underlying issues. Uh, Anger can have a lot of those things, believing that other people don't respect you, that other people don't want to allow you to be yourself, uh, that they want to control you, they want to limit you, they want to whatever. These are all belief systems, and it's always in the anger issues. Uh, Plus, also, you carry not just karmic anger in that sense, anger against him or her or whatever, who, right? What you meet. but you also carry anger towards your parents, and it doesn't matter if it's your father or mother, but because you carry 50-50% of their DNA, and that DNA is whatever when you were made, you were created, that anger, because they were distortions in your parents when they were united together, and in the time of conception, you started carrying the anger issues of your parents. So you also clearing not just your own, but you also clearing, in a sense, theirs or your family, your ancestral line. And there are so many of those things, right? So a lot of people don't understand that why do you have flight or fight issues? Because the reptilian brain, which is right here, stored all that from the first you started taking form. And it's not here. It's not now. We're not talking about now. We're not talking about this time, with this incarnations, because there are many different kind of incarnations. And we had been, in that sense, um, the first time when you betrayed yourself, the first time when you came out of unity consciousness within yourself, when you first time you forgot that you're omnipotent, that you're omnipresent, that you're omni everything, and you forgot your power. Uh, Maybe because of a lover, maybe because of I don't know who, whatever, it doesn't matter. So that ancient time carries all the distortions in you, which is not valid anymore. However, if you know Heilinger therapy, and I've been on one, and I've been in all of the things that people were doing it, I was called in, and amazing. Then you know what I'm talking about, because energy, everything is energy, and the life, past lifetimes past, but the energy of it is still exists. And if you've been in a Hellinger therapy, then you know what I'm talking about. Because the energy can be accessed. And every time you meet somebody who has an incredible part in your life since the beginning, since the beginning, all of the issues that are unresolved and not cleansed will come up, and that will have an amazing, incredible rage and anger. And you're gonna go through it. You have to be able to dissolve it, understand it, see it, go through it. This is how you cleanse yourself. You're purging, and you're purging. And as I said, this ancient primeval reptilian self, because this is what I met. I met my reptilian self, very interesting, also contained the blueprint of my soul, the soul's monad, which is the soul in its purest form and not form, but it's in purest, and that is, it's the same seed contains that. So your fear contains also at the same time the one which is the original blueprint of your soul, which is undistorted, no distortion whatsoever, none. So this is why you have to go down, and in the dark night of the soul you go in a so-called personal hell to bring it all up, to bring the purest self up with all your power, with all your knowledge, with all your magic, so-called magic, with all of you. It's all of you. It's this wonderful thing. But if you don't know what's going on, um, which I did not, and I was just grabbing the straws of my consciousness because I remembered there was once. And first you have to experience, and I experienced it for 1.5 months, the euphoria before I was going down. But it had to happen. That was it. And the funniest thing on my phone, the last time, message, it kept coming during that time. Um, Nothing to undo. And the last time this message came on the 4th of, which was when I had this experience, and that's it. And since then, I did not see that. So everything was perfect, and everything is perfect. So know that your anger issues are a lot more than what you can see now. And if you're lucky, in that sense, there is no such thing. But then you are here for complete self liberation, and you're gonna go through it. That's it. Thank you. Bye.